Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Slamhub Wrestling. Myself, Suprit, and this is your AEW Rampage review for November 19th, 2021. And I'm joined by Abby Maniac here. What did you think about this Rampage, man?
Yes, I thought that this was a good show, a decent show, and top to bottom there wasn't anything that was you can say that there was anything bad. It was a good show, watchable show, but there wasn't anything you can say newsworthy, a big thing that. You know they it mostly happens on Dynamite mostly, but this week on Rampage, yes, good show top to bottom, but they are thinking about making some things going forward.
In terms of something newsworthy, there was a big announcement on the show. They said that winter is coming. Edition of Dynamite will be happening this year also on a December. I don't actually remember the date, but
15th.
it's on the
15th.
it's on the 15th. They also brought up what happened in last year's Winter is Coming. The surprise debut of Sting and the big world title change we saw on that night. Kenny Omega beat John Moxley. That was a special night, man, and I have a feeling we could be seeing something else on a similar level on this year
Hmm.
also.
Uh, I would want the same. Let's see. There are many possibilities of what can happen, but let's see what uh, Tony Khan has up its sleeve.
We have to wait and see, but let's talk about this Rampage show. But before that, if you are new to Slam of Wrestling, then make sure to like, share, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. All the links provided in the description below. So make sure to check that out as well. But let's kick off this Rampage review. So they had Billy Gunn, Mr. Ass himself, leader of the Gun Club. So he was facing Darby Allin. Uh, this crowd here in Virginia was hot, taped or not taped. Really good reaction for Darby Allin. Came off as a legit superstar. And I have to say, man, does Billy Gunn look like a 58-year-old to you?
Mm, no,
Um,
I, he looked you know based on what he did in the ring. It was you know pretty good. So I have no complaints uh, regarding what he did in the ring with
uh,
Darby Allin.
Let me rephrase that. He does look like a 58-year-old, but the physique, man, it's something else.
Yes. Hmm. Physique. Absolutely.
Maybe I think it's time Tony Khan, applied that wellness policy. I think something is going on there, man. Do you have any suspicion? Maybe.
mm, well, I uh, suspicion, less said the better. At that time, where from the time where he is, if when he was currently wrestling many wrestlers, as per it is documented and everything, many people took they you know said their prayers and ate those vitamins via whatever source. But the fact is that that is what was probably one of the uh, you know reasons why they the Attitude Era came into such a hot streak, and the viewership was skyrocketing at that time. And there were many other factors too, edgy content and stuff like that, and non PC content and other stuff. But nonetheless, Billy Gunn doesn't wrestle very much on Dynamite, but yes, he has wrestled quite a lot if we take his AW career. But the fact is that what role he is put in, if he is able to fulfill that, then I don't think so that he should be you know scrutinized for the thing that you are saying, because he is recruited and by All Elite Wrestling for coaching the talent, and also via backstage stuff, or on AW Dark Elevation or Dynamite. So if he is able to put over the other talent based on what he is able to do in the ring, and he has been able to do in the ring in the past, so why would you want to change him? Why would you want to uh, you know put restrictions and rules and regulations on the guy? I don't think so. If that would be know good or something like that. I don't know what would be your take.
Yeah, nothing much on Billigan, man. He's just there. I think he has much more to offer in the backstage role or something like that. He's doing that, I think, on a consistent basis.
Hmm.
Now that because he has also has a kind of alignment with Cody Rhodes, the nightmare bit. So nothing much to say on Billigan. He's doing what he is told to do, and I think he's a good hand.
Hmm. And if we only uh, talk about what happened in this match, you know, I guess that he did a pretty good job. I would say he did a based on what was expected. What happened in the backstage interaction on Dynamite, which was the catalyst for this match. I would say that he did a uh, you know brilliant job. What happened in this match? This match was, you could say, very entertaining. He ragdolled Darby Allin, and he worked with the crowd, and all the heel shenanigans involved. His sons were involved, and everything you could do as a heel, and his size advantage. You know, it was pretty evident, and that mountain high backdrop that looked fucking insane. So uh, you know this heel domination, what they did, and even when the post match stuff happened, everything. So they are right now building a program between the two factions, uh, Gun Club and Sting Darby Allin, so as to get Darby Allin over, basically. And Billy Gunn is a, you can say, a guy who is known in the mainstream. So, and you also saw the audience were chanting for Billy Gunn. And Billy Gunn hasn't been seen on Dynamite or Rampage for, I don't know, quite some time, or ever, probably ever. So you can see that how his star power his being Billy Guns can be used to put over Darby Allin. So it is great in my opinion. So they are building this program to get Darby over even more. So well and good, do that. So
And this match
great
was,
stuff.
yeah, like this match was all about the story was Billy Gunn was being the big guy, that was the whole story. I think he didn't do much rather than play the big guy role in this match. He is just manhandling Darby Allin. Like there was, you talked about the insane back body drop. Like Darby actually elevated at least two times, higher than expected. There was this spot where Darby Allin was going for that tope suicida, and
Mhm.
Billy Gunn just swats him out in thin air, and Darby just crashes into the barricade. Like the bumps that Darby Allin takes is just insane. Like no other wrestler could take the way Darby Allin takes bumps. So that is actually innovative, and kudos to Darby Allin. And there was, I think the story was that Sting was kind of not actually, he decided not to get involved in Darby Allin's business, even though there was some interference from Billy Gunn's son, that's Colton and Austin. But as we get to the final parts, Darby actually, there was one spot where he took out both Austin and Colton, and he was hitting one move by after another, a big stunner, and then he hit a coffin drop. And I don't know if this was intentional or not, but Billy Gunn kicked out. So
Hmm.
Darby went for
Hmm.
another coffin drop. He connects, gets
Hmm.
the win, and there you go. A fine little match here, but that coffin drop kicking out spot, I don't know, man, if it was
Uh,
intentional or not.
you know, it could have been uh, Billy Gunn's, mindset that I should kick out uh, because as to first of all establish himself as that he is something, that he is a legend. First of all, we have not seen him on television programming of AEW for quite a while, so that audience should take him as a big deal, and they are building a program for the future, so we should take them seriously. So kicking out at one, probably kicking out, not kicking out at one, kicking out should be taken seriously, or should be taken into consideration, that he is legit. He is not just a quote unquote enhancement talent, or uh, you know just another guy that is done and dusted. But they want the program to continue, and he being Billy, he wanted to establish himself as a legit guy, because he doesn't get enough TV time. So he wanted to establish himself as a legit guy on television, so he had to do something, so he did that. So it is debatable, like you just pointed out. He shouldn't have. If it were one of Darby's guys being friends and colleagues, or of a certain mindset, that it doesn't need that, and we should save, and we should put over his finisher, then they would have just given up on the first attempt. On the first attempt, they should have they would have uh, given the 1, 2, 3. But Billy Gunn is from a different generation, and he has a different mindset. So he might be of a he might be thinking of other uh, in another you can say another way. And I am not saying that one is correct and one is wrong. No, I am saying that there would be something to it, that establishing himself straight up, your attention went there, that fuck, he kicked out of the coffin drop. So immediately your attention went there, and the program uh, went further. So you got something, and now you have something for the promos ahead. You can use that in the promos ahead. Probably this match could happen in the future, probably on Winter is Coming or something. So uh, they can do that. But overall, if I take the match and what they wanted to do and the post match angle, I would say it was pretty good, not at all bad.
Yeah, speaking about the post match, we had the Gun Club, Austin and Colt attack Darby. So I think what happened was Sting was getting in to celebrate with Darby. They get rid of Sting. They go after Darby. Sting comes in and takes both Austin and Colt out. But here comes Billy Gunn. Chops Sting, and at it the final scene was the Gun Club standing tall over Darby and Sting. Um, yeah, they could go ahead and do some big match, and I think that big match will be a 6 man. We have Gun Club, Sting, and Darby. But the question is, who's going to be the third guy? If you remember, this was, I think, the go home show for All Out. QT Marshall was involved with Paul White. They did a small angle with when Gun Club, quote unquote, turned heel, betrayed Paul White, and since then they
Yes,
have,
yes,
yeah, you remember now. Since then they haven't given
yes.
us a payoff. So this could be
Hmm.
an attempt to get that story back and do something. Nothing much.
Possibly, possibly, possibly. Hmm.
Yeah, you will be getting the payoff. That's good, but at the expense of seeing Paul White. So I don't know, man.
The focus, the intention is to basically, put over Darby Allin. Right now, I do not know that how much they want to put over, Billy Gunn's, kids, Austin and Colton. Right now, they are, I guess, still work in progress. So right now, the focus is to put over Darby Allin. So if you are booking Darby Allin in a match which has Sting, which has Big Show or Paul White, and which has Billy Gunn, so how is it bad? It would have more eyes. It would have eyes of the casual viewers as well. So I do not think so that it is a bad thing. It is not a very attractive stuff for the wrestling fans who are fans of wrestling. But if you look at the aspect of putting over Darby Allin and making him a star and putting him over more, and getting him more popular in the eyes of the fans worldwide, then it is a good then say scenario. And right now, if I would say that Darby Allin is a pretty big deal, and I have seen, there are, I am not very, I should not say that, but the fact is that yes, there are websites who, sell, merchandise of, WWE, AEW, which are not official, obviously. But I have seen merchandise of Darby Allin being sold. I have seen of some superstars, but Darby Allin Sting merchandise I have seen, and I did not see of the Young Bucks. Sadly, I did not see of Cody Rhodes, and
Absolutely.
I saw. So uh, Darby Allin is over, and this scenario being is a good thing. And it is only going to capitalize on that. It is good, for Darby Allin. Sometimes we should look in that direction as well, rather than only on the wrestling aspect. Sometimes it is for getting him over with the casual viewers worldwide. And people, for example, in India, they know of all the other three mega stars, so it would put more eyes on Darby Allin. If we are only concentrating on the niche audience, then you can only elevate to a certain level. But if you want them to break that ceiling and go into the mainstream, then absolutely you have to book them in such scenarios.
We'll have to wait and see. But moving on, they showed little highlights of the interaction between CM Punk and MJF in the Dynamite we saw this past week. And we also heard from QT Marshall. He had a random interview here on Rampage. Shivani was doing the interview duties here. He was calling out CM Punk. So apparently we have CM Punk versus QT Marshall next week on Dynamite, the Thanksgiving edition. It's happening in Chicago, by the way. So he called out CM Punk. He did a little dig with, CM Punk has a history of losing big matches or losing big time in Chicago, and that too in quick fashion, doing a small dig at his UFC run and that one fight in Chicago. So yeah, even Punk responded. He said, Punk said that you accept this match, you bring in your stablemates, bring in Comerato, Solo, Gogo, the entirety of the factory. So we are getting CM Punk versus QT Marshall in Chicago. Should be a good show for Dynamite. And there you go, man. Anything you want to add on this match? Nothing much, I suspect, but the interaction between MJF and Punk, man, what did you think about it? Few words.
Uh, I did not expect it to be this early. MJF and CM Punk happening right now. I should have, based on what the leaked notepad of Tony Khan suggested, that Wardlow and Punk was in the plan, so to speak. So the interaction, they saved it. They didn't do much based on what was about to say. They were about to, the fans were expecting that there would be a war of words, so to speak. But yes, they are saving it, obviously, because this match deserves a platform which is a pay-per-view, nothing less than a pay-per-view. You would not expect it to be happening on a random Dynamite or even a special Dynamite. So you have to hold it on, and you have to stretch it out so as to get the ultimate payoff, and the fans be invested in this, and the chants and the social media buzz said it, everything. And I am very excited. Two guys who are gifted on the microphone going at it, and you know I said it in one of the previous reviews that Punk is getting in the groove, and Eddie Kingston's feud, when Eddie Kingston got face to face, that was probably the catalyst to Punk now going in big feuds. So that is what is happening now, I suppose. So it is pretty good and very exciting, I suppose, and looking forward to the promos, the war of words between the two. Very excited, and very much looking forward to what happens in the coming weeks. And I guess on a special episode, Wardlow versus Punk would be happening. You know, on the road to MJF versus Punk happening. So let's see what all happens on the road to MJF versus CM Punk.
Do you think they hold it up till the pay-per-view? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, and they would. I do not expect that it would be happening on a random Dynamite. It being MJF versus CM Punk. Wardlow versus CM Punk would be happening on a special Dynamite. It could happen on Winter is Coming or another Dynamite. But let's see how it transpires. Let's see.
But moving on, we heard from the actually before that there was some highlights of the Inner Circle and American Top Team Men of the Year, match from Full Gear, and the talk. I think it was Jericho, talking about how special that night was, with the Eddie Guerrero tribute, and finally beating American Top Team and Men of the Year. Then we heard from Men of the Year. They had a little promo backstage. They talked about this is not over yet because beating a manager actually doesn't mean anything, because it was actually Jericho who pinned Lambert. So they also said that they will be also seeing the American Top Team very soon again. So yeah, this feud is continuing, unfortunately. And we talked about payoffs. So I think we could be seeing that Jericho Masvidal deal. That's the
Hmm.
direction I think they are looking towards, and I think they want, that's something they really want to achieve. Get Masvidal or Jericho in a wrestling match.
Hmm. Possibly, it could happen. And you know, afterwards, when we recorded the Full Gear review, I thought about this outcome of this match. Then it just brainstorming, it came to me that possibly the reason for uh, Inner Circle winning this match could have been the death anniversary of Eddie Guerrero. It could have been one of the reasons as to why Inner Circle got the victory. It could have been that American Top Team getting the victory, and also furthering the feud. That would have probably made more sense, in my opinion. But and also Jericho's ego, but uh, the Eddie Guerrero death anniversary makes more sense as to Jericho getting the victory with the frog splash. So that would have been the reason as to why uh, Jericho got the pin and uh, Inner Circle won the battle.
And where do
Could
you
be.
and where do you think men of the year fall on all in all this situation? Do they go with feuding with Proud and Powerful, kind of like what FTR did after their faction versus faction feud was over?
I guess so. We also talked about it on the full gear review. Yes, I believe so. But right now, the uh, interactions, the promos which they did, it did not signal to that right now. So let's see. I guess they would be having an interaction soon enough. Both the factions, so to speak. So then we would be getting a clear direction as to where uh, this is headed. I
Yeah,
don't, and you also said that we do not want a another multi-man match. We had it, and it was enough.
but moving on, we'll have to wait and see what they do with this whole deal. But let's talk about this TBS title tournament match. This is between Jade Cargill and Red Velvet. Kind of decent job, bringing up the history and stuff that they have faced. I think at least this is their third time. You could say this was literally a rubber match. And other than that, the match itself, in terms of Jade Cargill standard, it was a decent enough match. Is that what do you think? What did you think about this match and performance from Jade Cargill? I know there is still conversation. She's still green, needs more improvement, but looks like a star and has potential. That's the whole story with Jade Cargill. But what did you think about this match?
Yes, you said it. You said everything. uh, you know, it the match. First of all, the brawl. Last week they did, and the cake, the stiff spear, and everything that happened, and the build up last week, what all was happening, between during the match of Red Velvet and the Bunny, towards this week's quarterfinal showdown. I guess it was great, in my opinion. You know, the post match brawl looked two ladies who hate one another, and someone, I guess, online said that maybe there is legit heat. I don't know, but it was also brought about on Roads to the Top. But the fact is, I guess there is not. But such a thing, if it, if such a seed creeps up in the mind of fans, it is good, because such things, that two competitors hate one another, real and stuff like that. That is the need of the hour, in this business. And after what happened in this match, uh, I suppose that they could use this rivalry for probably years to come, because of the history that they have, and they have good chemistry, in my opinion, both of these ladies. Howsoever, the wrestling, fans grade them on the base of their wrestling skills. but they have that, they can bring out the best in one another based on the emotion and based on what they can do with one another, and that is it. And you know the you talked about the history. I guess Velvet was Jade's first opponent, in my opinion.
The Shaq
uh,
match.
she Yes, the Shaq match, Shaq Cody. Yes. So then I guess you know Jade won. She looked like a star, and this week, I mean AEW, they gave a great entrance presentation to Jade Cargill. All the stuff on the ramp and everything with the pyro. I guess they are going forward with, you know, there is a huge chance of probably Jade Cargill winning the championship, but uh, whatever happens, happens. And, there was, the crowd was also behind uh, Jade Cargill at one point. It seemed that way. Uh, you could say it was 60-40, and 60, I mean, Jade, even if she is a heel, and we have heard of so much criticism, j- uh, just like you pointed out online. But the crowd in attendance, they were, she was over with them. And other than that, I guess regarding Red Velvet, she is looking better in the ring as the days are going by. This was another great performance from Red Velvet, and it
Red Velvet.
seemed,
Red Velvet, I
yes,
think for me, Red Velvet is
uh,
little hit and miss. Sometimes she's good, other times she kind of messes up in the ring. But other than that, even she has some potential, I believe.
hmm, I guess this week, she was better. I guess that she is getting better as the days are going by. She being Red Velvet, and Jade, Jade's more her, you can say, arsenal, or her, you know thing is that more is the character and less is the wrestling. She does not need to, go, technical and everything. She has that presence, she has that build, she has that charisma. So she doesn't need to do that. She just needs to, put down the other, opponent, and she just needs to pose. She did the you know taking from the Cody's book. She did the push-ups, and so she only needs to do that. It can get over with the crowd in a negative way, obviously. Getting heat from the crowd, so she doesn't need to wrestle. You know, going technical and everything like that. I don't think that she needs to do that. So, and at the end, it from one of the sports, I guess they told to us here, or you can say that they wanted to sell that uh, that Red Velvet came so close to winning, but Jade at the end gets the victory with her finisher. That is the Jade.
They even gave Red Velvet a good near fall. Like she countered the
Hmm.
first jaded attempt, and I thought she was getting the victory there. But Jade Cargill kicked
Yes.
out, and as we got into the final parts, Jade Cargill picked up the win, finally hitting the Jade. She advances in the ahead in this tournament, potentially, mostly facing Thunder Rosa, I believe.
Yes. Yes.
So it's not a guarantee Jade is winning this tournament and the championship, because I suspect
Hmm.
you could give it to a Thunder Rosa when Thunder Rosa's chances are looking little slim. So we'll have to wait and see. Maybe a Ruby So.
Uh, let's see. Hmm, possibly. Possibly.
Well,
Right now, based on, I guess, what they teased, I guess, on Dynamite with Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and her whole faction. I suppose that it is going to be, and as you suggested also on the full gear review, that they would be going with Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker in the you know near future, the program, I suppose. So let's see.
but speaking about the TBS tournament, we heard from Thunder Rosa. So I think she will be facing Jamie Hater in the upcoming Dynamite, which should be a good match. Both Thunder Rosa, we all know, is great. Jamie Hater, I think this would be, could say in a way, her breakout moment. We haven't seen much of
Hmm.
Jamie Hater, but this could be a really great match. We'll have to wait and see. And like I said, pretty excited for that Dynamite card, man. And plus,
Hmm.
that's in
Yes.
Chicago.
Hmm. Yes. Absolutely. Uh, would be probably would be pretty exciting for that 8-man tag. The reaction for Cody.
Oh man, Chicago is gonna let Cody Rhodes know what's up. But shall we move on to the main event?
uh, yes, I suppose, and also we probably would not be seeing Dr. Britt Baker, I guess, on Dynamite. There's a chance, as probably she has gone to Wales, I suppose. So probably she won't be on Dynamite.
She has gone to
There
Wales.
is, yes, uh, she posted on social media, and I do not know what is the reason, but she has gone there.
Me neither. This is news to me that she went to Wales.
Yes, she has.
We'll have to check out the socials for more information. But let's talk about this main event, man. It is Adam Cole, Bay, and Bobby Fish, his former best friend and tag partner and faction mate from the Undisputed Era from way back. So they are facing the Jurassic Express, Jungle Boy, and Luchasaurus. So they did the Rampage main event bit with Mark Henry, getting thoughts from both the teams here over here. So Adam Cole's intention is to finally, end this whole thing with Jungle Boy, especially, and Jurassic Express and Christian Cage. So they exchanged a little back and forth. Mark Henry plugged in the main event, and he did. So it's time for the main event. The crowd is into that stuff as well. So this tag match was good. You could say good tag match. All four are great wrestlers in their own rights. And what did you think about this tag match?
Um, I also thought that it was a good match. The crowd in attendance was very much enjoying the match. At one point, we also heard "This is awesome" chant. So I suppose that the crowd was very much enjoying the match. Yes, for me, good match. Likewise, as you said, and there was that at one point, at one point, I should say that throughout the commercial break, Cole and Fish were isolating and dominating Jungle Boy and generating heat from the crowd in attendance. And in case, I should say that Luchasaurus is getting over with the crowd day by day. So I should give him kudos. Even if, many people in management or on the roster are not very big fans of him. And probably I am not a very big fan, I suppose. But yes, I respect his hustle. And,
Wait, wait,
I
wait, wait,
respect, yes,
wait a minute. You don't like Luchasaurus?
I am not a very big fan. Yes, I respect him, what, he does and everything. And I'm not a very big fan. You know,
Is
I'm a
it
big fan of,
is it
uh,
because he's a dinosaur?
in, no, no racial discrimination. No.
Okay, I think you got something against the reptiles, man. Come on, man.
No, no.
But
No,
anyways,
and it is also not because of Jim Cornette. Also,
let's
no.
see, man. Jim Cornette respects everyone on that roster, man. Some valid criticism.
Mhm. Yeah. But based on what he is doing, right now, he's doing great, and he is getting over with the crowd. The crowd is giving him positive responses each and every week, and whenever he, you know, is on screen and whenever he is in the ring. So you know credit where it's due. I can understand you know why probably many people are not very big fans or something like that. They can have their reasons. We are not in, you can say, we do not like all the people we know, or we are in you know or the people we are in the same bubble with. But the fact is, for me, I respect Luchasaurus, and whenever I see him perform, I'm pretty much entertained. So he is pretty good in what he does. And in this match also, he did amazing. And if I would you know give a little more insight into how I was a very big fan of such wrestling, I would say that probably in 2016 or 2017, I would have been a huge fan of Luchasaurus. But yes, your mindset, your taste in wrestling changes, and right now, yes, I see wrestling with a different lens, uh, not the same as I did then. I was a very big fan of PWG matches in 2016, 2017 stuff. But now a little different mindset as to the matches. And other than that, it was a pretty, as we just said, good match, competitive, entertaining, and you know, at the end, the Young Bucks came to the rescue of Cole and Fish, but it didn't give any, dividends, as Christian Cage also came with his steel chair, and uh, Cole and Bucks ran to the ramp and leaving Bobby Fish in the ring, fending for himself, which gave Jungle Boy an ample opportunity to get the victory via submission.
But other than that, really good tag match. Nothing much to add. You mentioned everything, and there was one spot where Cole and Bobby Fish they did a chasing the dragon double team maneuver, and I think it was on Jungle Boy, and that was a little
Hmm.
nod to Red Dragon. That is the team of Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. Another, planting of the seeds on potential arrival of that guy here in AEW.
Yeah.
But overall, really good tag match, and I think technically they are slowly moving forward from this Jurassic Express and the Super Click bit. We could see a Christian Cage versus Adam Cole match. I think that would be good, and from that you could
Hmm.
move on. And as said this several times, I said it in the Full Gear review, the Dynamite review, the Elite, Adam Cole betraying the Elite and forming somewhat of an undisputed era faction or trios here in AEW. I think that's the story that they want to tell and move forward to, and pretty intrigued on what could happen. Several possibilities.
Hmm. Yes, absolutely. Uh, right now it seems that way. They are going in that direction. You know, undisputed era and the elite head to head. In the I guess future, distant or something. And I guess there was also a thing, pointed out on the uh, Brian Alvarez podcast, and it was something like, you know, and primarily it was on BTE. Primarily, it was that I guess Omega said that he hasn't watched his match back. First of all, so it gives you a message that he doesn't know that the Young Bucks were there at the end, and Matt Jackson gave the nod to Hangman, number one, and we all saw what happened on Rampage. Oh, beg your
Okay.
pardon, Dynamite. That the first backstage promo which happened involving Omega and the Super Click. Omega just cut uh, Adam Cole. So yes, they are planting the seeds, and still within those seeds are, a uh, you can say a problem between the Bucks and Omega, that what would happen when he would confront them, that what happened on the main event, in the ending moments. So there are many possibilities, what can happen, what cannot happen. So it is pretty exciting as to what all can take place in the future regarding all of these people, and also Kyle O'Reilly coming in, Kevin Steen coming in. So a lot of possibilities, pretty exciting days for AEW in the future.
There you go, man. That was Rampage. Pretty good show, and you have said your thoughts. Really good, exciting times with AEW, and I'm really excited for that Winter is Coming show. I think that is a really good, way to end 2021 for AEW.
Yeah. Absolutely. No, last year was such a show that I still remember, that thumbnail, that what the fuck happened, your thumbnail, our review thumbnail. So that show had such a thing. So
You could be expecting something big. Like I said, they are definitely doing something big for this year as well.
hmm.
But that is winter is coming. I think we are done with the Rampage review. But before we leave, where can these guys find you?
Guys, you can connect with me on Twitter and Instagram at Abhimaniac, and you can also connect with me on Facebook and LinkedIn as well.
And you can find Slamhub Wrestling on Twitter at SlamhubW, Instagram at Slamhub Wrestling. You can catch this review and on Anchor and Spotify as well. This was the Rampage review, and see you guys next time.